I'm your Guru. I will make you enlightened. It's my commitment. Till you become Paramashiva, I won't rest. Don't worry at all. To all my disciples, I give you this as a boon. I'll swallow everything with which you are stuck and liberate you all. The moment you decide, your consciousness is the supreme identity you have. You will not empower your depression, your frustration, deal your problems, whether it is simple headache or depression, or the worst suicidal patterns, or life negativity, only through consciousness. Don't go for any other solution. Don't keep stupid, toxic, life negative struggles inside. Greater signs of life can be realized with a greater ability to visualize. Greater signs is the equivalent word for Hinduism. When you understand the greater signs of life,
Nithyanandam Paramashivoham Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadrisham Tattvamasya Laksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadguruntam Namami Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva Samarambham Nithyanandeshwari Parashakti Madhyamam Nithyananda Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Nithyanandam, everybody. We welcome each and every one of you for today's Bhava Samadhi Darshan, the very, very special Rama Bhava Samadhi Darshan on this, the auspicious occasion of Rama Navami. Today, we're going to be having a very powerful experience of Bhagwan Rama himself. A few security measures before we enter into the session. Photography, video and audio recording of any kind is strictly prohibited. Please be on mute and be on camera. A few important cautions. Let us now enter into the session. Let us invoke the presence of Bhagwan Sri Rama as we enter into the session. Shri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattulyam Rama Nama Varanane Shri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattulyam Rama Nama Varayane Shri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattulyam Rama Namam Varanane. With a beautiful invocation of Bhagwan Sri Rama, let us look at what is it that we will be learning today. We're going to be learning the significance of today, which is the Rama Navami. We'll be having the introduction to the Bhava Samadhi Darshan, a glimpse of the extraordinary power manifestations, and we'll be learning about who is Bhagwan Rama, the principles that Bhagavan Sri Rama personifies, and the strategy for success in all our lives. Ultimately, we'll be having the darshan and the diksha of Bhagavan Rama manifesting through the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And we are going to be achieving all these goals by listening, internalizing, manifesting these powerful cognitions in our day-to-day lives, and by receiving the darshan and the diksha from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. So, brief introduction to Ramanavami. Every year on the Shukla Paksha Navami of the Chaitra month of the Vedic lunar calendar, that particular day is celebrated as the Sri Ramanavami by all the Hindus all over the world. On this day, the Purushottama, Paramapavana, Bhagavan Sri Ramachandra Prabhu, the seventh avatar of Mahavishnu, incarnated on the planet Earth as the son of Kausalya and Dasharatha, the queen and the king of Ayodhya. Today is the day when Mahavishnu himself appeared as Sri Ramachandra and Aditesha appeared as Lakshmana. Chakra and Shanka appeared as Bharata and Shatrughna. Today is the day 4 incarnations landed at the same time on the planet Earth. Let us listen from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism why avatars and incarnations happen.
Nithyananda TV and from man animal jumping to an animal without consciousness is easy. It may have the form of a man, but it will not be completely carrying the consciousness of a man. So, from man animal, if the jump has to happen to man, human being, not just DNA need to evolve through its natural selection process, conscious intervention is required. That is why when Vishnu comes as a man animal, Narasimha, and pushes the natural selection process of DNA to the next level, Paramashiva comes as Sarabeshwara and pushes the conscious intervention and takes the whole thing to the next level, human being. Every time when Vishnu comes as incarnation to give a natural selection breakthrough of a DNA, a quantum jump, Vishnu comes and gives a breakthrough in the natural selection DNA process. Paramashiva comes and gives a breakthrough in superconscious level. Multiple reasons incarnations happen. Krishna Avatar, for example. If you see the time Krishna happened, too much of destructive weapons, destructive powers have been piled up. Like now, all the countries have piled up the atomic weapons enough to wipe the whole planet Earth 700 times. 700 times you can wipe the whole planet Earth. So much of atomic weapons are already piled up by all the countries put together. The time Mahabharata happened was exactly like this. Any one cranky guy can have an access to weapons like a Brahmastra and finish off the whole Srishti. The whole Srishti can be, whole creation can be lost. Krishna has to come and clean up all the weapons and the signs of those powers, because it has become too much, too easily available. Too easily available for the people who are not matured or who are not bothered about the Srishti. This Dronacharya's son, Aswathama, Just because his friends have died, he got angry and he was ready to use the Brahmastra and destroy the whole creation. God, what a selfish dog. Krishna curses him with Chiranjeevitva. Understand, immortality can be a curse if you are not able to handle yourself, if you are not psychologically capable. Immortality can be curse. 7 people achieved Chiranjeevitva. For one, Ashwatthama alone, it was given as a curse. He's still somewhere, but curse. Oh, understand, long life is not always blessing. Only if you know how to handle yourself, long life is a blessing. Understand, the time Krishna happened, if you study thoroughly, too much of weapon and astra shastra vidyas available too easily for the people who don't have maturity to have the larger vision of protecting Srishti. Fools like Ashwatthama started having the powers of Brahmastra. Dronacharya's one pattern of attachment to son destroyed himself, and so much of negativity was caused. Listen carefully. Krishna has to happen to empty all the weapons in a controlled condition where Srishti will not be destroyed. Only the people with violence and wanted to use all the shastra powers for their selfishness and vested interests and evil designs, only they need to be destroyed. So he collected all of them in the Kurukshetra and finished them off. I tell you, the ultimate compassionate act done to the planet Earth is Kurukshetra war. Because of this war, Krishna gave up even the so-called good name and brand. Understand? Till now, everyone blames Krishna for this Kurukshetra war. But you don't know, that's the greatest sacrifice Krishna did to save the planet Earth. If Kurukshetra was not conducted at that time, under the controlled conditions and direct supervision of Krishna, planet Earth would not have survived more than 3 years. Within 3 years, war would have erupted in a small packets and different corners, and the whole planet Earth would have been wiped due to large availability of astra shastras like Brahmastra, atomic weapons, nuclear weapons, chemical weapons.
Yes, so we listened from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism how incarnations happen continuously to give a breakthrough to the entire humanity, and whenever the superconscious evolution to happen. The incarnations of Mahavishnu give a breakthrough in the natural selection process of the DNA. Started with Matsyavatara, where life in the form of an independent existence moved on and evolved into the Kurma Avatara, which is the form of tortoise where beings can live inside the water and land. The next was Varaha Avatara, where being evolved with the body of a pig. Then the Narasimha Avatara, which is half animal and half human, being with the body of a half animal and human. The next is the Vamana Avatara, where evolution of the Vamana, which is a human being with a small body. Then came Parashurama, who is a physically grown, fully grown body, but still retaining the wildness of animal and the ferociousness. Then came Bhagavan Sri Ramachandra Prabhu, who is a complete cultured ideal for a stable human civilization. That is the time human civilization has started becoming a reality. Till Parashurama, we were only a small forest gangs, small settlements in various forests and remote regions. It was only during the time of Bhagwan Sri Rama the human civilization has become a regular lifestyle. Bhagavan Rama is an ideal leader who demonstrated all the principles of coexistence. He demonstrated Tyaga to demonstrate the various powers of values, giving courage and confidence to people on the power of Dharma. Bhagavan Rama continues to remain as the grand narrator of Hindu civilization, the Sanatana Hindu Dharma, the Purna Purushottama. Let us now have an introduction to the Bhava Samadhi Darshan. What is Samadhi? Samadhi means one with the source, and Bhava means attitude or aspect. Bhava Samadhi means being one with the source through this aspect. The aspect, the Bhava that you choose, through that Bhava being one with the source, Samadhi is Bhava Samadhi. Knowing this aspect, this Bhava, is the ultimate, and being oneness with it is Bhava Samadhi. The science of Bhava Samadhi Darshan. We need to understand that the divine cosmic beings are real. They manifest from Kailasa, which is the enlightened time-space zone, through the deities and incarnations. Divine cosmic beings manifest through the Archavataras, which are the deities in the temples, and through the Bhava Samadhi Darshans of the Nijavatars, the incarnations. The Bhava Samadhi Darshan awakens your Kundalini Shakti and your whole brain comes alive. The Bhava Samadhi Darshan awakens your Kundalini Shakti, which is the latent potential energy in every human being. Awakening of the Kundalini Shakti results in extraordinary abilities expressing through us, like seeing with the third eye awakening, having the ability to have remote vision, ability to scan one's body, levitation, teleportation, materialization, and many more. This influx of superconscious energy also visibly slows down the aging process in us. It improves the immunity to diseases, and with increasing levels of coherence, the whole brain comes alive, turning into a superconductor of conscious energies that heal, empower, and transform our lives. The Bhava Samadhi Darshan allows one to experience the formless in a way that we can understand. Having the darshan or even a glimpse brings lasting transformation in us, cleansing lifetimes of karmas, raising you to the next level of superconscious breakthrough, like hitting the reset button on your being. Experience the Bhava Samadhi Darshan to discover the quantum possibilities and jump from man to human, superhuman. During the Bhava Samadhi Darshan, our neurons mirror that of the incarnation. Mirror neurons activate and process all the observed movements or the information of the avatar just by seeing. Our entire body, silently without any movement, recreates what is happening distances far away, experiencing the superconscious energy that is radiated by the avatar. Nithyanam, everybody. Sorry for the technical glitch. So let us now have a brief introduction to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the 1008th living incarnation of Paramashiva and the reviver of Kailasa, which is a macrocosmic, ancient, enlightened Hindu civilizational nation. He has been recognized by his predecessors, who are enlightened masters and adepts of Hinduism. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been ordained as the 233rd Guru Mahasannidhanam of Kanchi Kailasa Sarvanya Peetam. He is also the incumbent emperor of the Suryavamsa Surangi Samrajyam, the present 293rd Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam of Kailasa Unnata Shyamala Peeta Sarvanya Peetam. He is also the present Mahamandaleshwar, who is the supreme spiritual head of Mahanirvani Akhada, the largest apex monastic order. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the 1008th Acharya Mahamandaleshwar of Atal Akhada, the present 23rd Guru Mahasannidhanam of Dharma Mukti Swargapuram Adinam. He has also been elected as the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism by a congregation of over 1,000 spiritual leaders. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been revered as the teacher of Hinduism, the most prolific and most viewed guru, read and watched by 1 billion plus followers around the world. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has authored over 300 books and 10,000 articles in 3 languages, English, Tamil, and Sanskrit, which have been translated into 50 languages with over 1,000 titles. Over 20 million copies of books and articles have been sold, read, and downloaded. Over 10,000 hours of discourses have been delivered. The enriched over 1 billion lives digitally. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has also been respected as a commentator of all the sacred scriptures, such as the Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, Shiva Sutras, Yoga Sutras, Ashtavakra Gita, Jain Sutras, etc. He has also been honored as the leader of Hinduism, the most awarded internationally recognized Hindu leader. He is also the reviver of 108 ancient Hindu sampradayas, including the Rudrakanyas, Rudras, Bhairavas, Bhairavis, Rishikas, Rishis, and Sannyasis. He is also the establisher of the largest Hindu university, which is the KAILASA's Nithyananda Hindu University, with satellite campuses in 150 countries. He is also the establisher of 1,000 plus Kailasa Enlightenment ecosystems around the world and the founder and reviver of 100 Sarvanya Peetams. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is also the establisher of the largest Hindu library in the world with over 1 million books, 1 million palm leaf scriptures, and over 20 million digital books. So till now, we have looked at the introduction to Ramanavami, an introduction to Bhagavan Sri Rama, and what is Bhava Samadhi Darshan. We also had an introduction to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Let us now move on to the next segment of today's Bhava Samadhi Darshan, the preparation towards Bhava Samadhi Darshan after a short break. We request all the participants and viewers from around the world to stay tuned.
Time itself is nothing but your decision to struggle with the same rut. Your decision to struggle with the same rut is time, Kala. Your decision to swallow time is Kala Bhairava. Stand. Be a conscious woman or man. Be conscious being. Shrink the time through conscious will persistence. Make the future into present by being ferocious with yourself.
Nithyanandam, everybody, welcome back. Let us now enter into the next session, which is the manifestation of the extraordinary Shaktis. In this session, we are going to be showing you a glimpse of what can be achieved by receiving the Bhava Samadhi Darshan of Bhagavan Sri Rama today. The Balasins, Nityananda Yogis, and the initiated disciples, we will be demonstrating the powers of third eye. In today's Bhava Samadhi Darshan, all of us also will be receiving the initiation into third eye awakening and various other powers with the blessings and the grace of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and manifesting various powers of third eye. So let us now learn about Shaktis. What exactly are these Shaktis? In the Vedagamas, which are the source scriptures of Hinduism, Paramashiva reveals in elaborate detail that every human being is hardwired to manifest 463 plus extraordinary Shaktis or the divine powers. Manifesting powers are described as a system, a method, and a science for human beings to explore the various powers and possibilities and have access to various states of consciousness. Shaktis manifest from the fundamental principle and the cognition that you are a divine and that you need to manifest divine, not that you're a man and that you need to reach divine. Let us look at some of the fundamental differences between Shaktis and Siddhis. Shaktis express from the space of enlightenment as a side effect of feeling connection with the divine and high integrity with the Guru. Shaktis are the source of enlightenment, whereas Siddhis are powers that manifest from tapas or penance for enlightenment, and Siddhis happen on the path of enlightenment. The Shaktis of Paramashiva manifest through ordinary human beings in an extraordinary way after the initiation from the avatar. Shaktis are permanent, whereas Siddhis are not, and Siddhis may divert you from enlightenment. Paramashiva is the source of these Shaktis. He is the primordial divinity in Hinduism, the ultimate reality and cause which is self-effulgent, Swayam Prakasha, all-pervading, unchanging beyond time, space, form, and causality. As the fundamental base of Avyakta, which is the unmanifest, and the Vyakta, the manifest existence, he performs the Panchakritya, or the 5 cosmic acts of Srishti, Sthiti, Samhara, through Bhava, and Anugraha: creation, sustenance, rejuvenation, pulling out of delusion, and liberation. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the 1008th living incarnation and the representative of Paramashiva. He is also the reviver of Kailasa. And ever since the beginning of the civilization, the Sanatana Hindu Dharma has been a cradle of enlightened beings and highly advanced sciences. It was where the science of enlightenment was lived and taught as a lifestyle. And for the very first time in the modern day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is reviving these yogic sciences and transmitting it to the world at a record-breaking pace never accomplished before. The knowledge and the science of manifesting these Shaktis have been passed down from one generation to the next through the Diksha or the initiation by the enlightened gurus. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, being recognized as an incarnation at a very young age, was trained and taught these sciences to revive the knowledge repositories for billions to manifest the science of power manifestation from the disciplines of Vedanta, Tantra, Sri Vidya, Yoga and Yogic powers, Mantra Shastra, Siddha Vidya, science of Aushadha, Advaita and Bhakti Yoga, Karmashvajnana, and Paramashiva Vijnana. So, how do we awaken these divine Shaktis in us? Every ultimate truth, which is the Jnana, when it is mapped into your consciousness, which is the Prajna, manifests as the power and possibility of every being. Let us now look at a beautiful introduction and a video about the science of initiation.
Diksha is the direct transfer of spiritual energy by an enlightened being through look, word, or touch. The traditional Vedic book Navaratneshwara states, Sarva samapi dikshanam muktihi phalamakhanditam avirodhat bhavantyeva prasangyastu bhuktayah. The main benefit of all initiations is moksha, enlightenment. As a side effect, health, wealth, leadership, and well-being happen. And in Rudrayamala Tantra, Shiva says, Devi diksha vihinasya na siddhihi na cha sadgatihi tasmat sarva prayatnena guruna dikshito bhavet. The one who is not initiated does not attain liberation nor a better future. So by all efforts, one should get initiated by Guru. What is the science of initiation? Neuroscience has proved that the process of initiation floods the brain with energy. This is the superconscious energy of Kundalini, our own highest inner potential energy. As the Kundalini flows from the thalamus to the cortex, it sets up a powerful energy loop within the brain, which awakens the latent non-mechanical parts which we have never used before. With increasing levels of coherence, the whole brain comes alive, turning into a superconductor of conscious energies that heal, empower, transform our lives, bliss and fulfillment. Initiation creates high awareness, visualization, creativity. It also slows the aging process and improves the immune system. Kundalini awakening, healing experience, levitation, teleportation, materialization.
We saw a beautiful video on the science of initiation. Let us now look at how this science of power manifestation is authenticated through the four aspects of evidences or the pramanas. The first is the Shastra Pramana, the eternal and unchangeable truths revealed in the source scriptures. The next is the Apta Pramana, experiences and the results of Aptas or authorities of Hinduism, the Vedic rishis and scientists who have time tested and verified the science. The next is the Atma Pramana, which is the personal experience of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And the fourth is the Pratiksha Pramana, empirical evidence from observation and scientific experimentation. The Vedagamas is a living applied science. Vedas are the ultimate superior authority for Hindus, and Vedas are the pure science where the ultimate truths are expanded. Agamas are the scriptures where the applied technology, the applied science is expanded. The Vedas and Agamas, together called as the Vedagamas, are given the status of Shruti as they are directly revealed by Paramashiva. They are the ultimate, eternal, and unchangeable truths. A reference that is cited from these Shastras or the source scriptures is called a Shastra Pramana. So let us now get ready to witness a very unique and exciting demonstration of the power of third eye. Today we're going to be manifesting the power of body scanning. Those of you who would like to experience this power of body scanning can drop a message on our social media. In this power of body scanning, one awakens the ability to scan illnesses, diseases, medically diagnosed issues, and provide solutions through the awakened third eye. The Shastra Pramana for this power is given by Paramashiva in the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra, Sutra 54. Swadehe jagato vapi sukshma sukshmatarani cha tattvani yani nilayam dhyatmante vyajyate para. Bhagavan Paramashiva says, cognize deeply that from the subtle to the subtlest constitutive principles of your whole body or of the whole universe simultaneously consist of the essential reality. They are being absorbed by Paramashiva, who is the source cause. By the experience of such restful awareness, one becomes complete from all thoughts, and the ultimate universal divine power, Paradevi Adi Shakti, is revealed, and the supreme power manifestation happens. Here we're looking at the Apta Pramana. Thereyer was a Siddha and one of the prominent disciples of Agatya. One day, a man suffering from severe headache comes to Agatya for healing. Agatya uses the power of body scanning and identifies the root cause of the headache. He reveals that the person is suffering with the headache because there's a frog sitting in the person's brain. Agatya immediately uses the power of body scanning and instructs his disciple Thereyer to perform an open-head surgery to remove the frog. After the surgery is completed successfully, the person is healed and cured of the headache. Thus, he gained the name Thereyer. And here we're looking at the Atma Pramana. On 22nd of December 2019, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism revealed how he uses the power of body scanning. Paraphrasing his words, only when I had the multiple compound hand fracture, I was forced to go for surgery and therefore for medical checkup related to that. At that time, they detected heavy metal quantity in my different organs. It was revealed that I had been poisoned without our knowledge. I immediately used the power of body scanning to study the condition of body due to poisoning. Through the body scanning, I found out what happened, where the imbalances had happened, and where the balance had to be done. I used allopathy as a second opinion to verify my findings. And here we're looking at the Sakshi Pramana, which is the experiences and the result of these power manifestations, manifesting through the initiated disciples of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. So let us now enter into the power manifestation. Today we have a participant, we have Balaji, who was requested for the power of body scanning. So I will now be chanting the Mahavakya, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham, experiencing myself and establishing myself in the space of oneness with Swamiji, sharing with all whatever Swamiji is revealing to me. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. What Swamiji revealed is that with respect to your health, you've been constantly doing the Nithyananda Yoga, which has been very beneficial for your health. And because of that, you've not been having much of the physical health issues that you are prone to have gone through because of the lifestyle that you have, especially by the kind of work that you've been doing and the kind of work in which you're affiliated with, which has long hours of sitting in front of your system and continuously working. And the stress load also that you've been going through has been negatively impacting you. Swamiji revealed for you to listen to more and more satsangs and start implementing these powerful cognitions. And at the same time, to make the people around you also active by doing the Nithyananda Yoga and other techniques to detox their body and to work on their body. By doing that, you will see that how much ever pressure and stress is created by your work environment will not be affecting you and will keep you healthy and your family healthy at the same time. So this is what Swamiji revealed. You can share with all of us how we are able to relate with what was revealed. So with that, we are coming towards the conclusion of this particular segment of the power manifestation. Let us now move on to the next segment of today's Bhava Samadhi Darshan after a short break. Please stay tuned.
Time itself is nothing but your decision to struggle with the same rut. Your decision to struggle with the same rut is time, Kala. Your decision to swallow time is Kala Bhairava. understand. Be a conscious woman or man. Be conscious being. Shrink the time through conscious will persistence. Make the future into present by being ferocious with yourself.
Just be alive for next 3 years. Don't die within next 3 years. I guarantee you, I will reach you wherever you are. Be alive, somehow be alive for next 3 years. I will reach you wherever you are, whichever corner of the world you may be. I will reach you with enlightenment. It's my commitment to humanity.
I'm going to empower, enlighten each and every one of you with the fuel and energy of the parallel universe. I'll infuse this intense supernal effulgence DNA, Tejas, Ojas, Kundalini Shakti into your spine to consciously lift you to KAILASA. It is irreversible permanent enlightenment, irreversible power manifestation, irreversible permanent empowerment. Your consciousness as power at this moment to swallow, digest, clean up all negativity and all toxins. Develop a powerful will persistence. That's the most important asset for life. I am not giving you some life positive blah blah. I am giving you the facts of life. I am triggering your consciousness. I'm your Guru. I will make you enlightened. It's my commitment. Till you become Paramashiva, I won't rest. Don't worry at all. To all my disciples, I give you this as a boon. I'll swallow everything with which you are stuck and liberate you all. The moment you decide, your consciousness is the supreme identity you have. You will not empower your depression, your frustration, deal your problems, whether it is simple headache or depression, or the worst suicidal patterns, or life negativity, only through consciousness. Don't go for any other solution. Don't keep stupid, toxic, life negative struggles inside. Greater signs of life can be realized with a greater ability to visualize. Greater science is the equivalent word for Hinduism. When you understand the greater science of life, greater courage, more possibility, more fearlessness, more joy, more bliss. When you visualize Paramashiva with 25 heads, 75 eyes, 50 hands, your consciousness becomes ferocious, and that ability to visualize, you will get involved in everything deeply. Involved people are the most delicious, most sweet, most beautiful, most juiciest beings of planet Earth. Time itself is nothing but your decision to struggle with the same rut. Your decision to struggle with the same rut is time, Kala. Your decision to swallow time is Kala Bhairava. Stand. Be a conscious woman or man. Be conscious being. shrink the time through conscious will persistence. Make the future into present by being ferocious with yourself.
Just be alive for next 3 years. Don't die within next 3 years. I guarantee you, I will reach you wherever you are. Be alive, somehow be alive for next 3 years. I will reach you wherever you are, whichever corner of the world you may be. I will reach you with enlightenment. It's my commitment to humanity.
I'm going to empower, enlighten each and every one of you with the fuel and energy of the parallel universe. I'll infuse this intense supernal effulgence DNA, Tejas, Ojas, Kundalini Shakti into your spine to consciously lift you to KAILASA. It is irreversible permanent enlightenment, irreversible power manifestation, irreversible permanent empowerment. Your consciousness as power at this moment to swallow, digest, clean up all negativity and all toxins.
Yes, Nithyanandam, welcoming all the devotees and disciples, viewers to this beautiful Rama Bhava Samadhi Darshan on the auspicious day of Ramanavami. And just before we enter into the sacred Bhava Samadhi Darshan, all of us will be having the Bhava Samadhi Darshan of Lord Rama directly from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And before we enter into that, we would like to give all of you an introduction to Bhagavan Sri Rama, his beautiful life and his qualities, and also how Lord Rama is one of the most important people in the dynasty of the Surya Vamsha, and how the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is also the incumbent emperor of the Surya Vamsha, Surangi Samrajyam. So, on the auspicious day of Sri Ramanavami, let us enter into this beautiful segment. So, As many of you would have seen in the previous session, the incarnation day of Lord Sri Rama is the Ram Navami. Sri Rama was born to Kaushalya, the queen of Ayodhya, exactly at noon on the Shukla Paksha Navami of the Chaitra month of the Vedic lunar calendar. Every year, this day is celebrated as Sri Ramanavami by all the Hindus in the world. Lord Sri Rama, who is the center of Ramayana, the great epic of the Hindu tradition, is an incarnation of Lord Vishnu. Millions of years ago, in the Treta Yuga, all the gods and sages prayed to Lord Mahavishnu, who was in Yoga Nidra, to save them from the load of negativity prevailing on planet Earth. Only when the god takes the human form as an avatar does the collective negativity get destroyed. Lord Vishnu, who is the embodiment of compassion, as an answer to their prayer, incarnates as Lord Sri Rama. Sri Rama is the son of Dasharatha and Kausalya, the royal couple of the city of Ayodhya. So many of us know about the birth and the purpose of the birth of Bhagavan Sri Rama, which is just to, out of his utmost compassion, the compassion of Bhagavan Mahavishnu to the people of the Bhuloka, he came down to address the negativity which was prevailing on the planet Earth and to save all the beings from those negative forces. Sri Rama is the epitome of dharma and sacrifice. Sri Rama lived in such a way that his life is the ideal way of living to be followed by all in the world. He is the role model of the Vedic way of living. He has been the hero of India and the Vedic tradition for millions of years. Right from the young age, Sri Rama expressed extraordinary skill in archery and extraordinary courage and sacrifice. He destroyed so many demons and saved mankind. Sri Rama is worshipped by millions around the world. He liberated so many souls from haunting karmas. When he left the body, he took along with him all the citizens of Ayodhya and liberated them from the samsara, the vicious cycle of birth and death, and made them live with him eternally. Sri Rama saves his devotees from all dangers. He bestows all the prosperity and auspiciousness. We will now be seeing a few of the qualities of Bhagavan Sri Rama. Lord Sri Rama expressed the unique qualities of an avatar. An avatar is God, the supreme consciousness taking a human form. God comes down in the human form in order to establish the signs of enlightenment, to save the noble, and to teach a lesson to the wicked. Lord Vishnu expressed himself in the human form in his 10 major avatars. Rama is the 7th avatar of Bhagavan Sri Vishnu. Below are the few qualities of an avatar which Rama expressed during his lifetime. Many of you might know the story of the old lady Shabari and Bhagavan Sri Rama. While wandering in search of his wife Sita, Rama happened to meet a very elderly devotee named Shabari. Shabari was waiting for Sri Rama for so many years. When she met Rama, Shabari offered fruits to him. Her love for Rama such intense that she tasted every fruit and checked that if it was fit to be given to Rama. Rama showed his grace on her by eating the fruits already tasted by Shabari and ultimately gave her enlightenment. And of course, all of us also know about how Bhagavan Sri Rama helped Sugriva, the king of the monkey clan, who was exiled by his brother and his wife was kept captive by Vali. When he approached Rama for help, Rama immediately extended the hand of friendship and helped him get out of all his problems and worries. I'm sure many of us know about this beautiful story where Bhagavan Sri Rama helps Sugriva against his brother Vali. Also, of course, how Bhagavan Sri Rama never tolerated the people who do injustice, and people like Ravana, the demon king, who not only tortured all the gods, but also kidnapped Sita and forced her to live with him. Rama, the iron hand for evildoers, destroyed the demon and liberated Sita and all the Devas. And of course, all of us know about how Sri Rama upheld Dharma in the most authentic, in the most righteous way. Rama Rajya means the kingdom with high standards and principles established by Rama. Rama, after becoming the king of Ayodhya, established Dharma on the planet Earth. He himself is the embodiment of Dharma. And of course, as an incarnation, one of the biggest qualities is sacrifice. Lord Sri Rama is the epitome of sacrifice. All the arrangements were made for Rama's coronation, but just for the promise received by his stepmother that Rama should go on exile for 14 years and the kingdom to be given to her son Bharata, Rama went on exile, bequeathing his kingdom. The zenith of his sacrifice and commitment to Dharma is his bequeathed his kingdom and wife, Queen Sita, who was goddess Lakshmi herself. And of course, one of the main other qualities of an avatar is the charisma and beauty and the grandeur that they radiate. Sri Rama was so handsome that even the sages who have won all the lust and fantasies wished to take one more birth so that they could live with him. Those sages took birth as Gopikas in Rama's next incarnation as Bhagavan Sri Krishna. And as we are seeing about Lord Rama, one of the most important aspects of his life is the sacred KAILASA Paramparagata Surya Vamsha Sarvanya Pitha Surangi Samrajyam, the kingdom of the solar dynasty, the Surya Vamsha dynasty. And we'll be right back to explore more about that after a short break. Please stay tuned.
Time itself is nothing but your decision to struggle with the same rut. Your decision to struggle with the same rut is time, Kala. Your decision to swallow time is Kala Bhairava. Stand. Be a conscious woman or man. Be conscious being. Shrink the time through conscious will persistence. Make the future into present by being ferocious with yourself.
Just be alive for next 3 years. Don't die within next 3 years. I guarantee you, I will reach you wherever you are. Be alive, somehow be alive for next 3 years. I will reach you wherever you are, whichever corner of the world you may be. I will reach you with enlightenment. It's my commitment to humanity.
I'm going to empower, enlighten each and every one of you with the fuel and energy of the parallel universe. I'll infuse this intense supernal effulgence DNA, Tejas, Ojas, Kundalini Shakti into your spine to consciously lift you to KAILASA. It is irreversible permanent enlightenment, irreversible power manifestation, irreversible permanent empowerment.
Yes, Nithyananda, welcome back to this beautiful segment where we will now be entering into the sacred Suryavamsha Surangi Samrajyam, the solar dynasty of Bhagavan Paramashiva, created by the right eye of Bhagavan Paramashiva. Let us now enter into a short brief and a history to the ancient kingdom of the Suryavamsha lineage. KAILASA in Surangi prevailed as an enlightenment ecosystem with tremendously rich and unique history, heritage, festivals, art, architecture, and culture established directly by Paramashiva through Lord Surya, the sun god. It functioned with such high activism in celebrating the cosmic principles. It is also one of the most invaded of Kailasas in the world by the Mughals. Following is an overview of the glory of Kailasa in the Surangi region, the persecution of it by the invading rulers, and its revival. The Surya Vamsha, or the lineage of the sun, has existed from time immemorial, having been created from the right eye of Lord Paramashiva himself, and with recorded history starting with the reign of Ikshvaku, the son of Vaivasvata Manu, who in turn was the son of Surya himself, and which lineage throughout history has upheld the royal principles of integrity, authenticity, responsibility, and enriching and upholding Dharma above all. So here we can see the picture of Bhagavan Surya and Lord Manu, the Vaivasvata Manu. And all of us should understand that the Surya Vamsha lineage, as mentioned here, it has happened with recorded history. It is not some ancient mythology, or it is not just a story being told to all of us, but it is an actual kingdom which is established by Bhagavan Paramashiva, and it has a recorded history of the various kings that ruled this beautiful dynasty, which we will be going through now in this segment. So, beginning with the first king, who is Ikshvaku. Ikshvaku was the first king who executed the Manusmriti, the rules of Dharma by Vaivasvata Manu, who was the first person to codify the cosmic laws of the universe into the governing laws of a country. These laws continued to form the basis of all laws, and also much later, the basis for the administration of the kingdom of Madurai by the enlightened queen Meenakshi, who ruled over all of the 56 nations that constituted the planet at that time. So, as per the Hindu tradition, Ikshvaku was the son of Vaivasvata Manu, and he was the first king who executed the laws and rules given in the Manusmriti, which is something similar or greater than what you call a constitution in the modern day world. Bhagavan Sri Krishna, a divine incarnation of Lord Vishnu, revealed a millennia later in the Bhagavad Gita that he, as the supreme divinity, had taught the imperishable science of yoga first to Surya, who then conveyed it to his son Manu, and who in turn his son Ikshvaku, and from then on to the Raja Rishis as the Raja Vidya Rajaguhyam. So here we can see the picture of Bhagavan Sri Krishna giving the Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna. And during that time, Bhagavan Sri Krishna, as he is also an incarnation of Bhagavan Vishnu, revealed the parampara, the Guru parampara of the various kings and the lineage of the Surya Vamsha. So there were so many kings who came after Ikshvaku, and many of whom were not prominent as King Harishchandra. The 18 major Puranas known as the Hindu history. Among these, the Markandeya Purana reveals the exemplary integrity of King Harishchandra, the 31st ruler in the dynasty. He went to extremes in keeping his integrity to Dharma, where he sacrificed all his possessions, his name, fame, power, and kingdom at the feet of his Guru, Vishwamitra, and attained liberation at the Manikarnika Ghats in Varanasi, North India, which were created by Lord Paramashiva for liberating those who left their body in that sacred place. Many of us know the story of King Harishchandra, where he was even ready to give up his son for holding the integrity holding the word that he gave, a man of integrity, and of course, he attained liberation by the grace and blessings of his Guru and, of course, Paramashiva. And he was the 31st ruler of that lineage. So by now you will see a pattern that the lineage of Surya Vamsha is not just what you think as the kings and queens that you know, similar to many of the Western civilizations, but it is the enlightened rulers that rule the kingdoms that are there to guide the people, to guide the citizens of their land. And it is not about conquering the nations, or it is not about expanding the empire, but it is more towards the enlightenment based civilization where everyone was focused towards enlightenment and towards the upliftment of human consciousness. So let us now walk you through to the next most prominent king, King Bhagiratha, the 43rd ruler in the lineage. The 39th chapter of the Shiva Purana describes the 43rd king in the lineage, King Bhagiratha. He brought the celestial river Ganga to planet Earth by the power of his penance and sacrifice to wash the sins of his ancestors, the sons of King Sagara, who were burnt by Lord Kapila. Sri Kapila Muni was the founder of the Sankhya tradition, which is the basis of all Vedantic thought trends and the first head of Mahanirvani Akhada, the foremost apex body of Sanatana Hindu Dharma. So here we can see a king who was not just focused on himself, but literally did a penance of a lifetime to atone for the sins which has been committed by his ancestors and to liberate all of them. And then we come to one of the most prominent rulers of the Ikshvaku dynasty, the Surya Vamsha, which is Lord Rama himself. Lord Rama was the 62nd ruler in the lineage. Lord Sri Rama, the divine incarnation of Bhagavan Sri Vishnu, who was the absolute Purusha, blessed the planet Earth by being born as the 62nd king in this great lineage. And then we come little close to modern history, where we all know about Gautama Buddha, who was the 140th ruler of the Surya Vamsha lineage. The Buddhist text, Mahavamsa, traces the origin of Sankhyas to King Ikshvaku, known as Okaka in Pali. It further reveals that Gautama Buddha, the royal prince of the Sankhyas and the ascetic of Mahanirvani Pitha of Kapila Mahamuni, was the 140th king of this same lineage. And then we come closer to modern history, where we know about the gurus of the Sikh tradition. Sodhi Rai, the son of Kusha, who was the son of Lord Sri Ram, moved to the Sanad region in Gujarat, where he married the king's daughter and moved to Madhya Pradesh and came to form the lineage called Sodhis, into which lineage was born Sri Guru Gobind Singh in the 17th century and many other gurus of the Sikh tradition in Punjab. The next we come to the great kings of the Chola kingdom. The kings of the great Chola kingdom, such as Karigala Cholan and Rajaraja Cholan, who built the towering Shiva temple at Tanjore, belonged to the Surya Vamsha, and the Cholas worshipped Surya and built several sun temples, including the Konark Sun Temple in present day Orissa, which was built by the Chola princess Kundavai Nachiyar, who was the daughter of Rajaraja Chola and the wife of Vimaladitya. The king Ellalan of the Surya Vamsha Chola dynasty earned the title Manu Nidhi Choran for his adherence and righteousness and justice and to laws codified by the originator of the Surya Vamsha dynasty Manu by giving justice to a cow whose calf was killed by his own son when driving a chariot carelessly. So here we can see, even after so many years of thousands of years of the lineage, the kings still held that righteousness, that sacred concept of upholding the constitution which was written by Vaivaswata Manu in the Manu Smriti. And we can see that they did not care about it, whether it was their own son or their wife, their relatives. It was the dharma which was to be upheld, and the kings of the Surya Vamsha dynasty followed the dharma at all costs. The Rajputs from the 6th century AD, the Surya Vamsha lineage of the Ikshvaku, has been called by the modern nomenclatures as the Rajputs, and who were warriors of the ultimate courage and skill, who defended Bharat from the invading barbarian tribes from the west, and who were rulers who upheld the eternal principles of Sanatana Hindu Dharma. The famous king Rajput Maharana Pratap was born in 247 generations after King Ikshvaku in the same lineage of the Surya Vamsha. Chhatrapati Shivaji, the king of the Maratha Empire, who fought hard to protect a large part of southern India and its heritage from the destruction by the Mughals, traced his lineage to the Suryavamshi Sisodia Rajput line. The Rajput kingdom of Surangi, the Suryavamsha Sarvangyapita Surangi Samrajyam, was ruled by great kings who were descendants of King Harishchandra, occupying the region in the north of present-day Andhra Pradesh and near the border of present-day Orissa, and is today the only surviving living tradition of this great lineage. In the 17th century, the kingdom of Surangi was ruled by Raja Dinabandhu Harishchandra Jagdev, who was the guru of Abhimanyu Samant Singhar, the famous 17th century composer. His son, Raja Keshav Raj Harishchandra Jagdev, Raja of Surangi, composed the Rasa Sindhu Sulakshana, and his son, Raja Mukund Harishchandra Jagdev, the Raja of Surangi, was also a composer and musician who played the veena. Raja Chandrachudamani Harishchandra Jagdev of Surangi shifted his palace from Surangi to its current location in the city of Ichapuram and was succeeded to the throne by Raja Purnachandra Diyo Harishchandra Jagdev. This kingdom was fully recognized by the British as an independent nation with its own sovereignty and ability to levy taxes, the extent of the territory being 212 square kilometers, comprising 129 villages. The title as the ruler of this kingdom, and the palace that existed on the land that still belongs to the kingdom was handed over to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism as part of the legal succession in a grand ceremony from December 2004 to January 2005, and he is hence the rightful inheritor and ruler of this occupied territory. But it was annexed post independence by the Indian Union in 1953, along with other Rajput states, in violation of the international laws, including the Covenant of the League of Nations and subsequently Article 2 of Chapter 1 of the UN Charter, only allowing them to retain their lineage and titles and certain properties specifically owned by them. During this period, 212 square kilometers of the Surangi kingdom, comprising of 129 villages, were under threat of invasion, forcibly and illegally dispossessed from the kingdom, and made it part of the secular Indian Union using the instrument of accession, which was introduced by the Government of India Act 1935. The revival of the Suryavamshi Surangi Samrajya Sarvanyapita, the modern day lineage, Raja Kirti Chandra Dio Harishchandra Jagdev, Raja of Surangi, from the 13th of June 1933 to November, ruled the kingdom of Surangi during his lifetime and also represented the Ichapuram constituency as a member of the Andhra Pradesh Legislative Assembly in 1961. His eldest daughter, Rani Manoja Manjari Devi, was adopted into another family early in her life. His son, Raja Hridaya Chandra Dio Harishchandra Jagdev of Surangi, Raja of Surangi, born 9th March 1966, died unmarried and childless on the 13th of September 2004. The younger daughter of Kirti Chandra Rani Sana Jima Manjula Manjari Devi, Mrs. Manjula Pooja Shroff, then assumed the position of the Queen of the Surangi Kingdom. Rani Jima Manjula Manjari Devi, the Queen of Surangi, being worried about the question of how she would administer and manage this large kingdom and make it glorious, prayed to Paramashiva, asking for the right successor who will take this kingdom to its original glory. At that time, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, known as Sri Nithyananda Swami, gave darshan, and experiencing Swamiji as Paramashiva, she decided to surrender the kingdom at his feet, and he blessed her by assuming the responsibility as the king, and now he is taking the kingdom to its glorious future. His Divine Holiness, as we all know, hails from the Tonde Mandala Adishaiva Velalar community, also known as the Tondamandal Shaiva Velalar community. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is one who belongs to the royal Adishaiva lineage, descended from the great Chola kings of the Suryavamsha, is the direct incarnation of Paramashiva, the ultimate divinity and the originator of the lineage of Suryavamsha, who now again has revived the true science of yoga that was first given to Surya by him, and from then on to Manu, Ikshvaku, the various rishis, and is the Rajaguru of the Suryavamsha Sarvanyapita Surangi Samrajyam. It is the time-honored and age-old tradition of the Suryavamsha that kingdoms are ruled by enlightened masters or Rajagurus whenever they choose to honor the kingdom by taking on the responsibility of administration, as happened historically when Harishchandra gave his kingdom to his guru, Vishwamitra, Chhatrapati Shivaji offered his entire kingdom to his guru, Samartha Ramdas Swami, and Meenakshi, goddess Parashakti herself, offered the entire 56 nations which constituted all of planet Earth during her reign to Paramashiva, Sundareshwara, when he showed her the ultimate cosmic reality of his nature and enlightened her. And in September 2004, the then Rajamata of Surangi, Rani Sana Jima Manjula Manjari Devi, declared, "It is now my privilege and honor through this document, by the power vested in me as per the ancient customs and traditions of the kingdom of Surangi, to formally declare the nomination of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism as the supreme ruler and inheritor of this ancient throne, and with it, the Surya Vamsha Sarvanyapita Surangi Samrajyam and all rights vested with it. All decisions regarding the kingdom of Surangi will henceforth happen as per his will and command." Through a traditional ritualistic grand coronation ceremony that lasted 5 days from 31st of December 2004 to 4th of January 2005, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was coronated as the king of KAILASA Paramparagata Surya Vamsha Sarvanyapitam Surangi Samrajyam. So with this, we can see the clear history of the Surya Vamsha lineage, which began from the right eye of Paramashiva and was passed on to great kings such as King Harishchandra, King Bhagiratha, and King Rama. And then how the various kings upheld the Dharma, like the Rajputs and Chhatrapati Shivaji, but then was annexed illegally by India and now revived by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism from this day of 2004. So with that, we come to the conclusion of the beautiful introduction to this dynasty, this empire, which is not just in history, but which is being revived by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism even today. And as a celebration of Ram Navami, the birthday of Lord Rama, we are giving our due diligence, we are giving our whatever we have to his kingdom, to his Surya Vamsha kingdom, reviving it and keeping the integrity of the kingdom alive. So with that, we will now be entering into the preparation for the Bhava Samadhi Darshan. Just in after a short break.
Time itself is nothing but your decision to struggle with the same rut. Your decision to struggle with the same rut is time, Kala. Your decision to swallow time is Kala Bhairava. Stand. Be a conscious woman or man. Be conscious being. Shrink the time through conscious will persistence, make the future into present by being ferocious with yourself.
Just be alive for next 3 years. Don't die within next 3 years. I guarantee you, I will reach you wherever you are. Be alive, somehow be alive for next 3 years. I will reach you wherever you are, whichever corner of the world you may be. I will reach you with enlightenment. It's my commitment to humanity.
I'm going to empower, enlighten each and every one of you with the fuel and energy of the parallel universe. I'll infuse this intense supernal effulgence DNA, Tejas, Ojas, Kundalini Shakti into your spine to consciously lift you to KAILASA. It is irreversible permanent enlightenment, irreversible power manifestation, irreversible permanent empowerment.
Yes, Nithyanandam, welcome back. We will now be entering into the introduction to the Bhava Samadhi Darshan. Few important cautions. Bhava is defined as directing and activating the emotional and spiritual energy that is created through meditation on the avatar. Bhava Samadhi Darshan is not an event in space and time. Rather, darshan happens at the moment when we are lifted out of space and time. During Bhava Samadhi Darshan, our neurons mirror that of the avatar. The brain mirror neurons activate and process all of the observed moments or information of the avatar just by seeing and without the physical act of imitation. And with that, we will now be getting ready to begin the Bhava Samadhi Darshan.